can never get my hair right. Well, let me see if anybody's going to show up here today. Yeah, my hair just does not want to do. It's getting to that stage where it just doesn't want to do anything I want it to do. Oh well, we all have a mind of our own, I guess, including my hair. Anyway, good afternoon. I don't know if anybody's going to show up. Trying a different perspective. You are sitting on my wood stove. I'm on a portable chair. This is a rocking chair that my husband had been sitting in since we got here. It's 4 years. It was a free chair that I picked up on the side of the road. Well, not on the side of the road, by an auction house that it didn't sell. So I just picked it up. It was in decent condition. And so, haven't decided what I'm going to do with it yet. That is a bale of insulation for upstairs. There's already one bale up there that I need to get to. Once that one is up in the ceiling and out of the way, then I'll take this one up. In that direction is the new living room. Okay. This is a large dresser that is supposed to go to my sister. Go away, fly. It was my father's, which is why it's here. But it was understood that when he passed away, she was going to get it. Well, I had no way of getting it to her. Now she has moved out of New Jersey, thankfully. Been waiting for a long time for her to do that. Go away, fly. Man, we got a fly flying around here. Okay, so this is a very big dresser. When that goes away, that will open up that whole space. This is one of the new walls from the living room. It goes all the way back behind the dresser, back into the living room. This right here is my front door. And this is one of those magnetized screen curtain kind of things. The cats have pretty much torn it up, so it needs to be replaced. This is the second year. This is a bunch of empty boxes I need to get rid of. I still have a few little odds and ends of my sons I need to pack up. So anyway, that is what is behind me. I still have the wall behind the wood stove to do. And I have some walls in the kitchen to do. Not a lot. I have a shelving / desk thing, IKEA thing right here. It's open. Let me see here. I'll show you a little bit of it. I don't know. No, it's not gonna work out. Very good. Anyway, let's get you between there. There we go. Anyway, when I have it straightened up, I'll show you. Right now, it's just a catch-all. I just put it up just before Dizzy got here. And I haven't completely, we just haven't had time to deal with it. But that's going to be like, I'm going to have a desk where I can keep my farm records and stuff like that on. And then I've got a section that is, it's just my husband and I. There's a drop leaf table that goes with it. We can sit there and eat our meals if we want to. Okay. I'm hoping my chairs aren't going to be too tall. We'll see. I can always raise the table part up a little bit. I may have to add a little something to the legs though if I do that, just to make it more comfortable for eating. Because when you're working on a computer, that's different than sitting there eating. It might be all right. I have to try it out. But the shelves are adjustable, so I can do that. The only thing is that I'm missing 2 pins. So I need to get replacement pins. I'm hoping they might have something like that at Lowe's or some other hardware store. I don't know. I have to take them out. I've only got 2 that are spare, so I'll have to pull them out. Right now, I left them in the bracket / legs, whatever you call it, the end panels. I left them in there so I would know where they were. So one of these days I have to take one out and take it with me to Lowe's and see what they have that I can use to replace it with. Like I said, just missing 2 pins. So right now I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shelves up. So I've got to put in one more. So anyway, and it's kind of open. It's an open airy kind of a thing. So that's why I put it here. It comes out by the wood stove, and I didn't want to have anything there that was going to block the heat from the wood stove. So that shouldn't. Right now, I do have a box of stuff I need to go through that was in my son's room. I did not realize it, and it's stuff that was my father's that I need to go through. So that hasn't been gone through yet. And then also, when Daisy came up, she brought my tote of Christmas decorations. And I was so happy because it's been 4 years, and my Christmas decorations had to be left behind. They weren't critical. Yes, I would have loved to have had them, but they weren't critical to bring with us. I would rather have had them than my son's junk. But, that's another story. Anyway, so Dizzy's visit. It was a nice visit. She had intentions on helping me to get some things done here. And I appreciate that very much. But what was more important was that she needed to just relax. We did do some fly. We did a little bit of running the roads. Of course, the week that she was here was the week that we go to the one town because it's a dump run, and we get groceries. So we went and did that, and we stopped at the PVA office to inquire about property. Well, unfortunately, the gentleman who used to work at the PVA office and who was a wealth of information, he had retired. I had heard he was going to, but I was hoping he would still be there. But unfortunately, he was not. And the gentlemen who were there, they just did not have the information that this other gentleman would have had. So we struck out of the PVA office because one of the things that Dizzy wanted to do was look for land. She's not planning on leaving Jersey until the spring anyway, at the earliest. This was just a visit, but she did kind of want to look around, and I don't blame her. She did look at excuse me, I'm sorry. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I guess I'm more tired than I thought I was. Anyway, she did do some looking around. Not a lot. But we did a little bit of shopping, and we went out for breakfast. Like, we did when I used to live up in New Jersey, whether we would go on occasion. It wasn't all the time, but on occasion we would go out to breakfast. Because breakfast is cheaper than lunch, and lunch is cheaper than dinner. But anyway, so that was a nice time. We just enjoyed each other's company. She did try to help me a little bit, but it's like, really, it was so cold here while she was here. I'll tell you, it was really cold. Um, we had that little taste of winter, I guess. Well, we did have one or two nights where it got down below freezing, and so she got to see the heat the wood stove, our wood stove puts out compared to hers. It's a little bit different. We've got a pot belly, and she has a more conventional wood stove. And she wasn't sure about it, but hey, it works, you know. Um, so it was just a restful week. Um, I did get I think I mentioned before about how my 550-gallon tank was empty. From that collects the rain off of the barn, and what that has given me the opportunity to make some improvements. One of the reasons why that tank ran out of water was because of the ducks. The ducks were getting into the water trough and they were splashing the water out. And of course, then they were fouling the water. So I would have to dump the water and I would have to scrub the thing. It's like, so we lost a lot of water from the water trough, which was fed by the 550-gallon tank because of the ducks. Now I do have a small wading pool for the ducks, and when we have water in the creek, I don't worry about the ducks because they can go to the creek and they have gone to the creek. And we did discover we have at least one duck that has gone to the pond. That's the smart duck. All the others are just hanging around down here. So anyway, right now water is very precious. We have not had water. The 550-gallon tank is empty. My first 225-gallon tank, backup tank, is empty. My second 225-gallon backup tank is empty. Yesterday, if you saw my short, I used my brand new pressure washer, which I had bought on sale so that I could pressure wash some carpets. Came in handy because I used it to empty the two 55-gallon blue barrels from into one of the tanks. Okay. They weren't totally full. I think they were like that much from the top, I think. So, but mostly 55 gallons. So that's 110 gallons, roughly. There might have been a little bit more water in the bottom of that one tote, because we did have a little bit of rain since everything went dry. But it was a very small shower and we got hardly anything out of it. But it would have collected some off the roof, so there would have been a little bit of water in the bottom. So anyway, it's about half full. They are calling for 40% chance of rain showers on Wednesday. People, I need water. I need rain. I do still have water in my stacked tanks. I just don't have a hose hookup for it. At least not yet. I have to completely redo the plumbing on those tanks. They are supposed to be fed into the house by the pump. But if I have to use them to water the livestock, then I will. But they're not, the plumbing on them is not set up for me to feed a hose and get water for the livestock. I got a line about a tank from somebody that I think I'm going to take them up on. Because I need another backup. That 550-gallon tank this past year, before it went dry, overflowed several times. Okay. That roof collects a lot of water. It's a good sized roof. So I think I'm going to take them up on that tank. And if it's still available, and set that up so that it will collect the runoff from the 550 gallon tank as a backup. It is unusually dry here, just like in other places. It's not as bad as Midwest, but for someone who relies on rainwater, it's dry and things are getting a little tight water-wise. We do have rain further away in the forecast, like into November. So I'm hoping I can get all the plumbing situated. I'm what's on the schedule next for me for plumbing wise is to run the line from the tank. I got to bury it to the water trough. And I also want to put a rain gutter on the buck barn and get that set up with at least one 55-gallon drum. I might, because of what we're going through right now, I might see about setting up a second one. That way, if it does collect enough water, I have them hooked up together, and it'll be gravity fed into a float. The bowl, I told you before about the bowl that I've got. It's got a float valve in it. So that's going to go in the buck barn. And that should work out well. Trying to figure out if there's a way to put a backup barrel behind the goat barn. I'm not sure. I haven't put a lot of thought into that, but I've got the 2 barrels here, and I've got another one out front that's got maybe that much water in it. So there's still a little bit of water in those 3 barrels, maybe 5 gallons worth, maybe. Could be as much as 10 gallons. I'm not sure. So anyway, I'm going to use those barrels somewhere, okay, as like backups, so that when I do get rain, I collect enough rain, okay? Because I'll tell you, the creek is dry. My creek going down the hill, from the pond down the hill, is dry. Dizzy and I went walking on another part of my property down near the bottom, and there's a larger part of the creek down there, and it's got puddles in it. It's not running. It's got puddles. So at least the wildlife still has access to some water. But I'll tell you, I've never seen the yellow jackets swarm the water around here like they have been. Yellow jackets, every time I open the barrel that I take water out of to get to livestock, I got yellow jackets swarming around me. So, that's the first I've seen it since I've been here. I've been here for 4 years. It's not that long a time, in the grand scheme of things, but my 4 years is the first time I've experienced it. So anyway, yeah. So that's what's going on. I got a what do you call it? A big tool. It's got, there's the handle, and it's got a flat blade, and it's got a pickaxe kind of part. And that's what I'm going to use to dig a trench to bury this line. I only have to go down 2 feet. Actually, around here, the frost line is 18 inches. So if I can get down 2 feet, so I got to go. I don't have to dig a big hole. Just dig a trench that's 2 feet deep and take it down to the water trough. I've got the fittings to get it hooked up to the tank. And I'm hoping I want to put an elbow in so that I can put a tap, so that I can hook it up to a hose for whatever other reason. It's always good to have a second outlet, So, but maybe if I get the backup tank, I can just hook the have that set up to accept a hose. We'll see, because I don't know what kind of a setup that particular tank has, but we'll see. That might be the better option. Have the hose hook up onto that, but we'll see. Um, Camp 10 Family Compound. Hey, how you doing? Thanks for coming in. It's been a busy but exhausting week. Dizzy is home now. She left yesterday morning. Like I said, we had a nice visit. We're going to do a lot. I do apologize last week. We were going to do a live stream last week. Her and I together here in my living room. However, the futon that I bought, thinking that it was going to be comfortable, okay, because it said it was memory foam, and I felt it with my hand, and it felt soft, okay. In Walmart, they have the furniture up on a shelf, so you can't sit on it and try it out. If I had been able to do that, I probably wouldn't have gotten it. I liked the look of it, the color. And like I said, when I felt it with the seat with my hand, it felt like it would be comfortable. So I bought it. Buyer beware. It wasn't that comfortable. And I was hoping that if it was opened up as a bed, it would be more comfortable, because that's what my son found on his futon that we had up in New Jersey, that it wasn't a very good sitting couch, but when he opened it up, he thought it was comfortable as a bed. But this one, no. So we went to Walmart last Sunday instead of doing the live stream, and she picked up a foam cushion to sleep on, and she said it improved it. It did make it better. It still wasn't all that comfortable, but it did make it better. So if I get a chance to, I'm going to see if I can't, do some fixing up on it to see if I can't make it a little bit more comfortable. Even sitting in it, it's not really the best. Like one of the problems I had with the futon we had up in New Jersey is that the seat was so wide, and I've got, short legs. So when I sat in it, if I sat all the way back, then my knees were my legs were straight out. Okay, I just couldn't get comfortable. It just was not a good comfortable sitting futon. And this one, it's the opposite problem. The seat's just a little bit too short. It opens out to a single, not a full. So that's different. But we'll see. It looks good in the living room. It just not the most comfortable, and sometimes unless you can try the furniture out in person and sit in it, you just don't know what you're getting. So unfortunately, the way Walmart's set up now, you can't do it. You can't sit on the furniture and try it out. I don't know, maybe they decided that people were sitting on it too much and damaging the furniture, but how are they supposed to know? They did have another futon there that was like maybe $10 more, and it looked like it might have been a little bit more comfortable. I like the look of this one a little bit better. What can you say? And without sitting in it for sure, I couldn't tell you. So, but anyway, so when as I can, I'll be working here in the kitchen. But my first priority is to finish that the water trough for the animals, because we have the possibility of rain coming in on Wednesday. So I want to get that set up and ready for just in case we actually do get rain. And then from there, I will be working in the kitchen area of my cabin here and getting it set up, and hopefully getting that sink set up. That has been the biggest hurdle. I didn't have room in here to really work. I have to build the shelf that the sink is going to set on, and I may have to do that in here. I'm not sure. We're also waiting for my husband's money to come in so that we can get the back porch built. And that's going to help out a lot. And talk to him about it. But we're also, right now, we have cinder blocks as stairs at our front door. Now, he and I are not getting any younger. Okay. And I've had a couple of close calls, and I'm sure he has too. So I told him, if I'm going to get them to build the back porch, I'm also going to get them to build the front porch. Well, we got the porch. It's just we need a deck with some stairs. Okay. So I'm going to get them to build that too. And we'll see if I get them to build anything else. But he's got the money coming in. We're going to use it to make a better situation. Now, another thing, let me see here what else is going on. If you saw my short and you saw my new toy, the pressure washer. So, unfortunately, I can't use it right now to wash my carpets. I've got like 3 small carpets out there. 4 that I wanted to power wash. But until we get some rain, I don't dare use the water to do that. So we'll just live without the carpets until we get some decent rain. And then I will power wash them with my new power washer. And I'll have clean carpets in my house. So I'm looking forward to that. As soon as we get some water. Anyway, also once they get the back porch built, then I can get the wash machine. I have a brand new wash machine out there waiting to be hooked up. I can get that put up here on the back porch. The back porch will eventually be closed in. I have windows. I don't have a door. But it will eventually be closed in. And we may be putting I would like to put the new freezer on the back porch rather than on the front porch, because the front porch here gets the afternoon sun, which is very hot. And that's not good for the freezer. So I would really like to put that on the back porch. But the thing is that Chucky goes to the butcher on Friday. Okay. Chucky's leaving. And when Chucky comes back, he'll be going in that freezer. So I don't know if we'll get that porch built by then or not. And I don't know about moving the freezer once I get Chucky in there. We'll see. But that would be the best place to put it. It would be more protected. It'll be out of the sun. Yeah, we get the morning sun, but we don't get as intense because we have the trees right at the back. So, we'll see. It's on the timing. I got to get hold of the guys to see if they can fit us in to build it. So, this will be interesting. This will be very interesting. I can't wait. Oh, I've been wanting that back porch for several years now. So, but that'll be, we get that done, and I get the kitchen done, and we'll be almost living like civilized human beings again. Won't that be nice? Okay, so, I forgot to tell you that I did, I was telling you about the ducks getting into the water trough. What I did is I built a frame between the 2 wood posts that are in the ground for the stock tank to sit on, so it raises it up a little bit, not so high that the goats can't reach it, but high enough. I'm hoping it will keep the ducks out of it. And if that doesn't work, well, then I'm going to have to put some kind of sides up, so the ducks cannot get into it, as I don't want to have to deal with this again. Hopefully we will be able to downsize some of the ducks before too long. I know where I would like to put them. And we'll see if they actually get in there. The only reason why they have not been dispatched is because I don't have running water. It's a lot easier to butcher and clean up with running water. Even if it's just a hose, it's much easier. And I just didn't have things set up properly to be able to do that. Hopefully, before Christmas, I'm hoping that I can have this done. Things have taken me a lot longer to get things done than what I had thought it would. So now, anybody out there want some goat's milk? I am milking Daisy, and Daisy is giving me almost a gallon a day. If I stripped her out, she probably would give me a full gallon. Now I do give I can't even talk. I do give Sheba a little bit of her milk in the morning and at night. It's kind of her reward. She doesn't get a lot because I don't want to make her sick. She just gets a little bit. And it's kind of like her reward for taking care of the goats for me. She likes it. So anyway, I got all this milk. I've been feeding it to the dogs, the cats, the chickens. I don't have a pig. I'm not raising pigs right now. I don't know if I will. That has not yet been determined for sure. Right now, I'm not. And I have no immediate plans to do so. If I had a pig, the pig would be getting a lot of milk. Okay. As the chickens do. I got one of those little feeder trays that I use as a milk trough. I just pour the milk in there and let them have at it, and they do. Sometimes they spill it, sometimes they don't, but they do enjoy it. And I figure it's giving them extra calcium. So that and the protein. And since most of them are molting right now, I don't know about where you are, but the chickens here are molting. So they need that extra protein. So therefore, since they're molting, we're not getting a lot of eggs right now. I think that my husband's been getting 2 a day. Now I have at least 3. Let's see here, 1, 2, 3, maybe 5 pullets coming to maturity this year. I need to get them separated out and put in the coop so that they are part of that batch. I do have a few other hens that are kind of major free range, but in other words, they don't get locked up in the coop. That's because they just won't go in. They roost in the tree. But all my older birds, with the exception of maybe 2 or 3, are like 2 years old. So I'm not going to be getting a whole lot of eggs out of them now. Possibly, if I can start collecting eggs from the lavenders in the spring, if they're the 3rd year, I should be getting decent enough eggs from them. Beyond that, not much. And I'm debating on whether or not to just let them run around loose or if I should process them. Because I'll tell you, old hens make great stewing hens. And I used to be able to get stewing hens up in Canada when we lived up there. The grocery stores would sell stewing hens pretty cheap. And so I would get a stewing hen every now and then and cook it up. It made the best broth, I'll tell you. The tastiest broth. So I don't mind having the odd stewing hen. I don't know if I need as many as what I've got, but we'll see. I don't know. I haven't decided. One thing I'll say is that homesteading for 2 people is a lot different in homesteading for a growing family. Um, you just don't need as much. Um, I like having my dairy goat, but she gives me so much milk, I can't use it all. Now, granted, I haven't started making cheese yet. I do want to try my hand at making some cheese because we do like cheese. I do buy cheese. So that would be something. But until I get my kitchen done, there's just no point in even trying, because it's just going to add more work. So right now we just keep things simple. But it definitely is different. Um, Homesteading for just a couple of older people than with a growing family. If you got teenagers, man, maybe a goat wouldn't be enough. Maybe you do need a cow. I don't need a cow. And I am debating on whether or not it's worth me hanging on to Daisy. Um, I have Lily. Lily is Daisy's little girl, and she's crossed with a Kiko. Now, I am thinking, this has not been proven, but I'm thinking that she probably will not give as much milk as her mother does, which is fine by me. Um, but if she gives me half of what her mother gives, that's more than enough for us. Um, so it's like, do I keep Daisy or should I sell her? I almost hate to sell her. She seems happy here. And this would be her third home. And she's a really, really good milker. She really is. Um, but I'm just like, should I let her move on to someone who could use her or leave her here? I mean, her daughter's here. Um, so I'm not really sure. Part of me, I hate to part with her, um, because she's a really easy milker. You know, I can milk her by hand. I can milk her with a machine, and she's great. She's a great milker. I just don't need what she puts out. So somebody suggested freezing the milk, which I did that last year. I froze some of her milk. Now I I saved it in Ziploc bags. That was a big mistake because they would spring leaks. So what I've been doing is I've been saving the water bottle jugs, the heavier duty ones, and I'm seriously considering possibly starting to save her each day's milk in one of those because it'll still have a headspace in it because she doesn't quite fill a whole gallon. So I'm thinking about doing that because I have to dry her off in by the end of January. Okay, um, because she's been bred, so she's probably going to kid in early March, first week of March. So I want her to have the whole month of February off. So I got to start drying her off in January. So then we won't have her milk. Um, and it's either I use her frozen milk or um, I have to buy milk. And these days, I don't know about depending on buying milk. Uh, Milk prices have gone up. We're still seeing milk in the stores, so there's not a shortage, but the price has gone up. Not as much here as it has in other places, from what I've seen, but it has. I have seen an increase in the price. So anyway, oh gosh me, oh I'm so sorry. Pardon me, man. Well, anyway, that's a decision I need to make about what to do about Daisy. Um, anyway, I need to go feed a couple of kids so that I can clean their stall because they share the stall with Chucky at night. And if I didn't clean it every day, it would be a terrible mess. So I got to clean it, and I feed them, and I clean the stall while they're busy eating. So hopefully, about another week, Chucky will be gone. Billy will be back in his pen, and I can let these two little girls out to roam with their mothers. So that'll make things a little bit easier. Anyway, I need to go take care of them. So this is Mom H with Honey Hollow Homestead. Hopefully I'll have more to report with you next week. And I do have a video ready to get popped in here. I'll do that tomorrow, and maybe I'll have some more. So I will talk to y'all later. Have a good one.